and welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Today we are talking about stock market options 101. I probably said it wrong, but that's okay because I'm going to bring my brothers on today to get it right. So today we have Chris Earl. Some of you will remember him. He was on a couple of weeks ago talking about the GoBiz opportunities, funding opportunities that are coming up. But today he done brought some reinforcement. We're going to talk about something that we all need to learn about. We're talking about the conversation and Black wealth headed to zero in 2053. We got to figure out how to change.
No, we can't have that.
So we've brought our brothers, Chris, FICO Jordan. I love that. FICO Jordan, and Will from Alpha Pack Trading Group today to kind of talk about it. So I am going to remove myself and let y'all take it away.
All right. So here, everyone, is Chris Earl, and I'm 1/6 of the leadership of the Alpha Pack Trading Group. And just to briefly jump into a little bit of background about us and myself, my background's mainly in economic development and business development, infrastructure, procurement, supply chain works, and working with my partners, my bros here. Investing has been something at the core of what we wanted to do, but we came together as six Black dads that had a shared vision and values in terms of building wealth for ourselves and our families, building generational and sustainable wealth for ourselves and our families. And so how do we do that? What is the process by which that we go about taking those steps? How do we accomplish that for a community? And it starts with the education. And so, us as a group, we realized, working amongst and trading amongst ourselves for a couple of years, that, there's an opportunity for us to really help our community and provide an impact in a long lasting way. I think we're all familiar with Black Wall Street and what it was and things of that nature. But, I think as we move forward and we're talking about building those generational wealth, we came up with this concept to really focus in and teach people and give people the option and freedoms to make decisions about their lives that, it's about their passion and what they want to do with their lives, more so not driven by, income needs or the needs that a lot of us have faced. And, I grew up in a single parent household. I know how income drives decision making or the lack thereof. And so we wanted to provide a pathway for our community to access freedom. And we have a proven process to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to let the bros jump in. Will or FICO, please take it away. Introduce yourselves.
Yeah, sure. Let me, oh, sorry. No, go ahead, FICO. No, take it over, bro.
My apologies. My name is Derek Mosley. I go by the name FICO Jordan. I am myself a career videographer. Have a legacy videography business here. I, though, am not in the same state. My business, translation kind of spread regionally. And during COVID, I got introduced to an opportunity to do something that I've always wanted to do since I was younger, because COVID took my business out, the legs out from under it. And I have a friend that I met in 2016 that introduced me to trading in the market. I thought that was something that I had to have a lot of capital to do. I was not informed that, for a couple $100 that I could have gotten started. So having this low risk and so forth. But with this gentleman who's now one of my best friends and honestly my walking vision board, I was able to see someone that looked like me, who did not have to go to work like I did at the time, early in the morning, come back late. I just seen him in his, honestly, in his pajamas in the morning in our business center, in our apartment, office place. And I just had to introduce myself. And once I was exposed to the fact that this was something I could do, I was still kind of off put by it, because it was like, wow, like, could I jump from, this amount of money that I'm making to making over 100 grand a year in the amount of time that he did? And we strengthened that relationship. And then COVID happened and I had no choice. So I took that thought process that I had, that someone else like me did it. They've done it already. You've seen it. It's been proven. And so I dug in, And within my first 7 months, I was able to hit 6 figures. And so a lot of things has happened in that process. Not to say that, I was like a master trader. The stars aligned last year for many people, but it really put me into this position that I had to understand in the roots of how this worked, because I could not turn 35 years old and know that I'm spending money, and yet I have no idea how it is moving around the world around me. And so many people that look like me were getting to these opportunities. And so I dug in, and that's when I met my partners here in this process, and things just kind of taken off from there. And it honestly, our core was we wanted to teach people, because that's the thing that separates us, is just the educational aspect of it. And that is what led me here to you, to be able to share that information I have today.
Absolutely. Pretty dope. Well, I'm Will Holland, of course, one of the leaders in Alpha Pack trading. One of the things that attracted me to trading is simply being able to be free. So just a little background, I'm from Los Angeles, California, born and raised. I was born literally at Gardena Memorial High School, graduated high school from Centennial High School in Compton, where we didn't actually even have books at the time. There's not a lot of positive things going on around you, but I just had different visions for myself, and I grew up with a really entrepreneurial mindset, and that was instilled in me. I'm big with the education. All I do is teach. I want people to have the same freedom that I've experienced. So I started out in LA County when I was 18 years old as a student worker for the Los Angeles County Fire Department, working in the IT department. Did that for many years. Wanted to get outside of the office, so I ended up working for Los Angeles County Parks and Recreation. I did that for about 3.5 years. Of course, COVID came at that time. I had always been trading stocks, and then I really wanted to know what the wealthy people did, or what were some of the secrets that were being used to create wealth. Going down a rabbit hole of Google searches and different things like that, I ended up finding stock options trading. My motivation was simply I wanted to quit my job. So this year, I actually quit my job off of profits from options trading. So I was literally going to work and trading at the same time. So after 8 months of trading, I was able to quit my job. Now, of course, I had my 401k, I had all my benefits and all that good stuff set up. But the benefit of options trading, it gave me the freedom. I wanted to be able to be home with my family. I had sick people that I needed to be there for, and I simply didn't want to have to ask somebody else for the permission to be off to take care of my family. And I don't think anybody wants to do that. And that kind of hurt my spirit as a man, knowing that the most important thing to me in my life is being able to take care of my family. So trading options and becoming proficient at it has allowed me to really change my life. And then educating people to do the same thing has helped other people change their lives as well. So I guess I'm passing back. I don't know if Chris, you want to say anything, but I want to get back to FICO, just, kind of give them a little bit of the process of what we do with options trading,
right.
How we make it work.
Absolutely.
Oh
yeah, I'll segue really quick. And just to piggyback off of that, we recognize, like, we come from communities, we come from areas and backgrounds where we've encountered and many of our peers have faced the same challenges that we do, that the community does. And we found, a proven way and process to take back your freedom as an individual. If you want to continue to work, that's an option or a choice that you can make. But I think the bigger issues are addressing the wealth gap within our community, the lack of ownership. Through this stock market investing, we're able to create job creators. As people start to invest and create businesses with the income that they've been able to create, they can go out and hire other people that look like them. And I think that's a key aspect as we look at the possibilities after you start to become successful in the market. What do you do? How do you maneuver and invest going forward? And so we want to be able to circulate that income. We all know how fast the black dollar leaves our community. We have to do that in a way to where we're creating wealth, we're creating jobs, we're creating wealth creators or job creators. And so with that, those are just some of the core elements of why we're doing what we're doing. And I'm going to segue back to FICO Jordan to kind of talk about some of the processes and steps we take.
So one of the things that we try to do, we understand that individuals will come to us, especially they're not new to trading. Many of us have known, or many of them have known us from previous groups and things like that, interviews that they've heard us in, podcasts, or in another group, they had like an MVP call and so forth that was highlighting, giving a spotlight to that individual that, may have had some success that might be inspiring to someone else. And so they have somewhat of a history, but with trading, and especially around the market itself, there are a lot of skills and things like that that take countless years to master, and there's a lot of manipulation behind that, and it can all seem very intimidating. But our process is extremely simple. It's not something that we created on our own, but it is something that, though being trained by an individual who has 25 years of with the Chicago CBOE in that exchange. His father worked for Merrill Lynch with the strategy that he taught us that took him over 20 years to cultivate. And that all centered around the most important thing that we should be paying attention to, which, whether you're an options trader, a common stock, or if you simply want to invest in shares to allow yourself to find growth in a company that you feel is great fundamentally, and that is price. That is simply that. So we spend a lot of time trying to help people get rid of bad habits, or if they're fresh and brand new, they'll be cultivating good habits, things that allow them to stop guessing whenever they show up, because this is why the statistic is held with the stock market, where they say like more than like 95% of accounts are blown up. And this is true because majority of people are gambling. They know a friend who's made a lot of money because they struck lightning or caught lightning in a bottle one time with a good stock from a tip that they seen on Reddit or like GameStop. But there were a lot of other people who on the bad side, or on the wrong side of that, I should say, who tried to come in late. These are individuals who had no intention of actually being educated upon where exactly to put their money, let alone when and when they shouldn't get out, like when they should get in and when they shouldn't, when they should get out, to kind of protect themselves. Because the number one thing that we preach to individuals are like, your first job is to manage your risk. All other good habits will follow after that. So if you basically protect and guard and keep yourself from having a major downside, the upside will take care of itself. And so with that information, we're able to honestly turn people into confident and extremely independent traders. We see people come with extremely bad habits, lack of confidence, and it's hurting. Some of the stories that we hear about individuals who in a year's time lost like $50,000, but they don't quit because they know it's possible. They've seen it. They've seen wins. They know it's real, but they know they need to fix something. And we dig into the heart of that. And honestly, the results that we've gotten back from a lot of our members, especially one member in particular who's having an amazing October, they thank us over and over and over again because of these principles and this foundation that we use to educate first. We don't want to make money for you, but we want to show you how that you don't have to rely on someone else to provide an opportunity. They exist every single day in the market, and we want to show them exactly how they can go find it themselves.
For sure. I just want to jump in and mention, so one of the things about what we do is we help people to leverage their investments, right? So typical stock and trading involves buying shares. So, if a stock costs $50, you want to buy 100 shares, it'll cost you $5,000. A lot of people don't have $5,000 and they don't have the time to sit and wait for months and months and possibly even years to see a decent return. So I know that's what turns a lot of people away. They say, I don't have a lot of money and I don't have a lot of time, or I could use this money for other things. What we have been able to do is pretty ingenious to help people leverage leverage small amounts of money with a very low risk. So for example, I'll just give you a couple examples. I don't know how many people are familiar with the leaps. What leaps do is allow you to get time. And you don't have to necessarily buy and sell shares. What we do is we buy and sell contracts. So the one contract is equivalent to owning 100 shares. So for example, I was able to get XOM contracts for about $160, or what we would say is $1.60 a piece, because each contract involves 160 or 100 shares. I've been able to leverage that to over $7, almost $8 per contract within a couple months. Those are not results that you'll be able to see. We document everything we do. We've been able to change lives. We have tons of testimonials. We've helped people to pay mortgages. We've helped people who were incarcerated to pay legal fees. We've helped a lot of people do a lot of different things that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. Without option trading, I would not have been able to quit my job and be here to take care of my family like I need to. So what we're hoping is that we can, just kind of introduce this to you, answer any questions that you might have, and then hopefully we can, do some things for some of you that we've been able to do. For how many students do we have right now that we're currently teaching right now? What, have the numbers on those, the current students?
I mean, since this past weekend, I think we're close to 400 students right now, active subscribers. I'm sorry, go ahead, Selena.
Sign me up.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. I'm
All
scared, but I'm serious.
Well, that's a good point. So that's a good segue to the next thing. And I think, William, you could really share about this, but like the different types of accounts that people create for themselves, and kind of what does that look like for them, and the different type of, risk profile and type of trader versus investor. What does that look like for a new trader coming in?
Right. Absolutely. So most people are familiar with some kind of investing, whether they know it or not. So typically, whether that was a 401k, an IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, these are typical things that most working adults, are involved in, or when they look for positions, they kind of find those things. We have personal accounts that you can have. We have cash accounts where you simply trade your own money. We have margin accounts where you actually borrow the bank's money and you can actually leverage their money to make money for yourself. Sorry. Let me get this. Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. We have different kinds of stocks people invest in. We have dividend stocks, what we call like old people stocks, things that are not heavily traded, that pay excellent dividends. Companies like maybe Coke, or the young folks, they call them old people stocks. Yeah. Young folks, they call them old people stocks. Not the fancy stuff, maybe not as much as the tech stuff, like the Teslas and different things like that, the crazy stuff, but just the stuff we all know, the brands we all know, the Coke, the Pepsi, the P&G, that kind of stuff like there. So you can create a ticker, right? So those are some of the things that we're trading. We trade sectors. Today, we're actually in a trade. So these are some of the things, like I mentioned, we document it. So we have a bunch of the PAC members in the XLU trade. We have December contracts. Everybody's up a minimum of 20% on their investments, within a matter of a week. So you could have got contracts for as little as $1, and those would be about $1.25 right now with months to go. Now, I don't know anywhere else where you can actually get those kind of returns and actually feel like you're doing it safely and not put too much at risk, and you actually don't have to watch the charts every day. So the kind of leverage that we're getting on our money is unmatched. The results that we have is unmatched, and we're just hoping to pass this education, because we want this to be something that once we teach it to you, you're able to pass it down. You're able to understand it absolutely clearly. And that is our goal. We want you to be clear-minded, be able to pass this information down and help us close this wealth gap.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So Farron is one of our faithful watchers. She said, sign me up, please, and thank you. So Farron, I've put the website where you can go to, it's scrolling across, so alphapackTrading.com. But Chris, you've met Lena. Lena and I, we go back and forth. Lena and her son are like, they are into trading. That's their thing. Like they call each other on the phone, and I'm like, why is he calling you again? And because the stock went up, and he's like, Mom, you got to see this. And like they're so excited, and I'm excited for him, but I'm scared to put my money in that because I don't know how this. I got to understand how this
Right.
works. I want to understand how everything works
Right.
before I go and
Putting your hard-earned money in the fund.
yeah, because I need my coins. I gotta feed these kids. They're hungry. I'm hungry. You know what I mean? So we gotta make it happen the way it's supposed to.
But
So,
that's a great comment.
Yeah, for someone like me, risk aversion. I don't want to take no risks. I'm scared of that. Where does somebody like me start?
So great question, and it's a great segue into some of like the things we do in the Alpha Pack. Part of that is we hold daily classes or almost daily classes where we're providing educational content outside of market hours. So when folks are off work, they're at home, they can go and we have very focused classes to help them, develop those skills. And then also we're accessible. We provide weekend classes, evening nights, late night sessions. So we're really focused and intent on providing the education for folks so that they have the skills to be self-sufficient. So that's the first thing. And then along the way, then you can make some money. We we provide recommendations along the way. But I think the main thing is that we want you focused in on developing those tools for yourself. I think that's the ultimate goal of what we want to accomplish, and so I think that's the core of it. Our mission is community and wealth building, and we can't do that if all 500 of our members are relying on us 6 for everything. It's like, no, you got to be able to see it for yourself, know how to execute, and do that on your own. So fellas, please jump in and add, you guys additional comments.
Yeah, I'll add for sure. So the number one thing about investing is managing the risk. So if you were to take a $10,000 stock trading course at UCLA, the first class you would take is trading psychology. The first lesson is how not to lose. So that is the very first lesson. They're going to make you pay $1,000 and tell you how not to lose. That is the power of options trading. So if done right, our risks are a lot less than actually trading common stock. The reason is because simply we put less capital in. The more capital, then the higher the risk. Now, what we've managed to do is find trades and ways to read the stock market with the trading strategies and it's been proven. We can do this over and over.
It's not some magical
cocky, but I can pretty much tell you what's going to happen before. We can pretty much tell you what's going to happen before it happens. I'm just going to be honest. We have a strategy in case things don't go your way, right? So of course, not everything is going to go your way. Everything in life is about risk reward. So as long as you manage the risk, you manage the capital you put in, and then make the good trades, then you'll be fine. The risk will be absolutely minimal, and what we teach is how to minimize risk. It is very, very, very simple strategy. You can literally plan out how much you're willing to lose before the trade happens. So nothing will catch you off guard. You'll absolutely know what to expect. You'll know how much you're going to make by what time. We'll tell you. You'll know how much you're going to make. We teach people. Hey, this is all we can say is right now, we're here for a reason. We're very, very confident at what we do. We're very, very confident at what we do. Very confident. We're confident because we have the results. It's not our results. We have the results of the 300-400 students, and we could let them come on here and give you testimonial. We had a girl; she's literally crying on the call, talking about how much we've changed her life.
Took us to
We've
church.
had men, darn near want to break down on the calls and thank us for how much, we've done. So we're very confident. We've done it for these students. We have these hundreds of students that trust us. We're good at what we do.
And that's a great. Oh, sorry, FICO. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if I can interject, I spent almost, I would say about 10,000 in profits last year, because whenever things would go, the human nature, especially when it comes to trading or investing, is if something doesn't go your way, it's not you or what you did not know. It's like something is wrong with my strategy. Or there's like, we don't look and say there's like, I need more time or more experience with this strategy, which majority of what you find across the market is kind of dipped in subjectivity, because they're looking at other things that are supposed to tell you what the market is going to do, when at the end of the day, nothing matters more than the price of the stock that you're trading. That's it. And so I was one of the individuals early on last year that if something didn't go my way, then I had to go find something else. And so I went from group to group, hopping. And then honestly, one of the things that I knew these are the right individuals and my brothers, that I knew we had the same mindset about education first, is because a lot of groups would give you the basics of options trading. There was no common language that was spoken amongst the group. And there would be like 8, 9, 10 different strategies that were being passed around amongst new people that had not found consistent success in the thing. And you would have people who on the internet, we call them furus because they're fake gurus, and they're trying to sound very intelligent on the internet, but yet in their privacy of their own group, you'll have people coming out complaining about getting, as we call, getting clapped. They like, there is no basis of risk management and so forth as the foundation, and then they're left out on their own. So then they fall back. They hate trading. It did not work out for them, and they were not shown how to work that. This is the reason why we have this motto: no pack member left behind. We literally hold a call on Tuesday evenings called Wounded Wolf for individuals who, if a play didn't go their way, or their mindset is not where it needs to be, we please be on here that night.
Let's work through your issues.
Let's work through those issues. Show us the plays that didn't go your way that you may have not understood, and we will show you what you should have done and what you should not have done in that. Like, we don't, trust me, we have one individual in the group who we work with every single day, and we've known him for quite some time, but he now openly says he understands that it's him. It's him. He has a lot of issues that occur outside, but it's him. And we take full responsibility for the results that occur. And so since we know we're the problem, then once we fix us, it's the sky's the limit. So we see these breakthroughs that people have in real time. And honestly, it's amazing to see.
Yeah. And then last thing, I know we're going short on time. And then last thing, that's, I just wanted to draw one distinction in that, we're specialists in options trading, but we also do common stock trading, which is probably what most people are familiar with is like common stock trading. But options are a derivative of common stock trading. It's a little bit more riskier form of trading. But as Will and FICO alluded to, the return on investments are extremely high in multiples of what you would see in common stock trading. And so we've developed a process and a strategy. We have a strategy that's tried and proven, and then we've built our own Alpha Pack methodology, risk profile, not getting too much dip on your chip, as we like to say, and understanding, a process needs to be developed for you to become profitable and add those tools to your tool belt. That's the only way you're going to be able to pass it down to the next generation in your family, is if you develop that capacity as a new trader on understanding how to go through and develop and find things on your own without any help from anybody. And that's the ultimate objective for us. And we're trying to build an army.
So let me ask you this. And we got about 2 minutes because we did start about 2 minutes late. When we talk about the Black wealth gap and changing the trajectory of Black people and Black wealth, why is the first answer is we got to get into stock trading. Why is that?
I think for one, it just, my perspective, and bros, please jump in. But from my perspective, I think that one, we see kind of like the unemployment rates. We see it at at a national standard, and then we go into the microcosm of our community. And then you look at unemployment rates, they don't track people who've been out of work more than 12 months. And so like the numbers are skewed. So I think things hit our communities differently. And so these are, we talk about structural racism individuals who don't get access to the opportunities and things of that nature. We're trying to provide a pathway for people to have that freedom to pursue their passions. Income is a secondary piece of this. Like if you can generate your own income and money and for yourself, the possibilities are limitless of what you want to do with yourself and your life. You're going to do things that you want to do and make an impact on. And the money is just a secondary thought, and it's not driving decision making, which is what happens in our community. You know, we're driven a lot of times by the need for the income to be there collectively. And so that, at least for me, that's one area. And that's something I'm being a business guy, that's big for me. But I know Will and FICO got some points to share on that too.
I would just say
I have to say, I'm very, very quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, FICO.
Oh no, I'm quick too. I would just say it's the path of least resistance. As you financially become educated on how the market is working, you will there is no hindrance. There's not a lot of paperwork that you have to go through. It's very easy to be educated on price action. You could come in, make money. As you gain money from options, you know that you'll start moving it into shares to get ownership. In order to get dividends, you might take that money and put it into a business. You might put it into real estate and so forth. It is the easiest and the path of least resistance to start accumulating capital, to start putting into these other things that you'll start receiving money back, so you can have your feet kicked up doing whatever you want to do in your own free time, and you'll still be getting paid.
Right. There's not there. What we do is unmatched. There is no way outside of the stock market to leverage your returns at the pace and with the efficiency that we do. So stocks, rich people own stocks, poor people don't. Simple as that. You want to be rich, you want to be wealthy, you need to own some stocks.
So we have one question, and I'm just going to ask it because it's my VP. Shout out Raymond Kemp. But we are over time. With market correction looming, is now a good time to get in the market?
Here's the thing about this. When we talk about market, let me tell you, sir, when we talk about market corrections, one thing I want to know is where's that information coming from? So what we do is we teach people to read price action. Typically news is simply just going to be a distraction. It always will be, and it always has been. There is no correction that's coming. It's just a lot of fear, and we can teach you how to identify those things. We have weekly almanac calls, insights where we can tell you what we expect to happen in the market. Ultimately, like FICO said, we know how to read price action. If the price action says stocks are going up, the market is going up, despite what any person might say.
A lot of the news is just manipulation. Right. Sorry.
CNBC works on the side of the institutions and banks. So they you'll see SPY drop like 1.2%, and they will be hammering Yahoo Finance, CNBC with should you get rid of your positions? They want liquidity. They want you to sell so they can take it. If you look at the S&P 500 on a yearly chart, it goes straight up almost. It looks like a rocket. But we look at it as from a microcosm of a daily chart, just like a week and a day. And so we see these downs and ups, but people don't look at it at a broad scale. It's just one of the things that we end up teaching in the group. A lot of people sell out of things that they should have no business selling. Yep. And honestly, they will be multimillionaires if they would have stuck in these initial investments, but they get feared out of
CNBC
out of these friends. Not your friend at all.
The market goes up 70% of the time. The market will go up 70% of the time.
Yeah. There have been three major corrections.
Are up. Nobody's 401ks are going down.
I'm cracking up right now because y'all over here giggling and saying all these acronyms and these y'all sound like y'all really know what y'all talking about. We just told a joke. I want to thank you.
Not like that. Not like that.
No. Wait, this is not towards you. I'm just laughing at what their response was and how they're laughing. But I really am excited to have three brothers on a call talking about this, and it sounds like y'all really know what you're talking about. So I want to thank you guys for coming on today. I think we're gonna have you guys back again
November for crypto update. We do have a crypto group, but we wanted to dedicate this time to the stock and options. But yes.
So if you're looking for
I teach crypto every week, so we'll be back doing that.
Yeah, they're going to, he said they do crypto every week. But if you're trying to just get in on the very basic ground level, like what I'm trying to do, I'm not ready for crypto yet. I don't even understand it. Lena was trying to explain it, and I was like, girl, no. But Alpha Pack Trading Company, this is their website.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put the ticker up that has their email, their web address.
And let me drop the email.
alphapacktrading.com. You can also go here, upgrade.chat/alphapack. Please, if you're looking for somebody to tell you how to do this and how to do it the right way, they seem pretty credible to me. When we get off of this call, I'm gonna work with them and try to get me a membership set up. Because I think this is very important, and I think that there's something to this conversation about closing the Black wealth gap through stocks. So with that, here's their email address. You can email them at info@alphapacktrading.com. If you have any questions, please hit them. Do not hit me. I can't answer it. I'm sorry. I just don't know enough. I don't want to lie. I'll tell you a lie and lead you the wrong way. But these are the experts, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
All right. See you, everybody.